Thai PBS World is running a student journalist competition where you can win up to 5,000 baht for an article or a 5-minute video in English. It is also a chance to get your work published on our website and social media channels. Here's the topic for the submission. Are Thai youths ready to be global citizens? Send your entry to Thai PBS World at thaipbs.or.th or scan this QR code for more information. Entry opens today until 31st of October. Don't miss the chance to showcase your talent.
Tonight on the program, the Icon Group saga continues with more victims coming forward and how such Ponzi schemes are now affecting monks. Then a first-hand experience from reporters covering the rehearsal of the Royal Barge Procession. And we explore the significance of Tak Bai through an art exhibition in Bangkok. Swadika, I'm Nad Bunag and welcome to This Week with Thai PBS World. The embattled pyramid scheme, the Icon Group, has been making headlines for the past few weeks. More and more victims are counting their losses from investing with them, including those living abroad. The case has also exposed other illegal activity, including a Ponzi scheme involving monks.
These luxury watches were among the assets confiscated by the police from the embattled direct sales business, the Icon Group, and its CEO. A massive raid was launched in 11 locations across Bangkok, Pathum Thani, and Nonthaburi after 18 suspects, including the CEO, were arrested last week for allegedly colluding to defraud the public. So far, assets worth more than 400 million baht, including 35 luxury cars, have been impounded. The Department of Special Investigation announced that it will also join the investigation as there are sufficient grounds to believe that there is money laundering. More and more victims have been coming forward to file complaints against the Icon Group, demanding compensation for the losses sustained from investing in the business. Since the first alleged victim filed a complaint in early October, more than 5,600 others have filed complaints against the business, claiming to have sustained combined losses of over 1.6 billion baht. The alleged victims include many from outside of Thailand, with some of them residing in China, Hong Kong, Macau, and even Canada. Their combined losses are estimated to exceed 20 million baht. Most of these victims are in the business of importing products from Thailand for sale in other countries. Many more Thai celebrities have been scrutinized over their relationships with the embattled business, including a famous and influential monk, Wachirameti. This video of him resurfaced online, during which he is heard praising the Icon Group CEO as a model of success and hard work. This has sparked controversy as to whether the monk was intentionally endorsing the business. The same monk is also facing other troubles. His renowned meditation center in Chiang Rai, Rai Chen Tawan, has allegedly encroached on national forest reserves. According to the Forest Department, it sought permission to use a total of 22 hectares of forest reserves. It is alleged, however, that the center has occupied 30.4 hectares. If the center is found to be encroaching on forest reserves, those responsible could face imprisonment of up to 20 years and/or a fine of up to 2 million baht upon conviction. Meanwhile, another Ponzi scandal has made headlines in Thailand, but this time, hundreds of monks became victims. Widely known as Chaba Nong Carrot, monks and local residents were lured into investing 300,000 baht, claiming that their returns will help them achieve their dreams of getting a brand new car and a new home within 5 years. The combined losses are estimated to be at least 1 billion baht. Mahachulalongkorn Rajavidyalaya University, the oldest Buddhist university in Thailand, has denied any involvement in such a Ponzi scheme.
And according to some law experts, executives of the Icon Group may have broken several laws. And here's a look at where it all stands so far. The police are accusing the CEO and executives of defrauding the public under sections 341 and 343 of the Criminal Code. So according to section 341, if someone deceives a person with false information and obtains assets from them through means of deception, that person is guilty of fraud. This carries a prison term of up to 3 years and or a fine of 60,000 baht. Under section 343, if someone deceives the public in the same manner, that person would be subject to 5 years in prison and or a fine of 100,000 baht. But that is not all. The executives might have also violated the Direct Sale and Direct Marketing Act, in which the CEO admitted that he wasn't even aware of this law. Section 19 of this act states that a direct sales business person cannot run a business in a way which solicits a person to join the business by agreeing to provide benefits for asking other people to join such a network calculated based upon increased number of participants. Whoever violates this law would be subject to 5 years in prison and or a fine of 500,000 baht. And on top of these, they could also be prosecuted for alleged violation of the Ponzi scheme law, the emergency decree on borrowing regarded as public cheating and fraud. So whoever violates this would be subject between 5 and 10 years in prison and or a fine of up to 1 million baht plus another 10,000 baht each day they continue to violate this law. At the time of the reporting, authorities have not accused the Icon Group of operating a pyramid or Ponzi scheme. Now let's move on to another big issue of the week. Today marks the 20th anniversary of the notorious Tak Bai massacre, which also means that the 20-year statute of limitations for justice expires at midnight. So if the case expires with no suspects arrested, it will be dropped, meaning that those responsible for the 85 deaths will go unpunished.
This is the first time that Prime Minister Paetongtarn officially addresses the issue of the Tak Bai massacre.
แล้วก็ต้องขอโทษในนามของรัฐบาลด้วยนะคะว่าก็จะทำให้ดีที่สุดนะคะว่าไม่ให้เกิดเหตุการณ์แบบนี้ขึ้นอีกนะคะ
An apology that came too late for the tragedy that happened during her father's government. 20 years on, no one has been brought to justice for the deaths of 85 people. The statute of limitations is set to expire tonight. On October 25, 2004, 7 people were killed as the security forces dispersed a rally in front of the police station in Tak Bai district of Narathiwat province. Another 78 protesters lost their lives from asphyxiation while being transported in army trucks. During the Yingluck Shinawatra government, a compensation of 651.5 million baht was paid to the victims' families and the injured. But those who have been alleged to have caused the deaths remain free. Central to this case is General Pisan Wattanawongkiri, commander of the regional army unit when the incident took place. He was also an MP of Pheu Thai Party but resigned recently. Earlier, Justice Minister Thawi Sawtsong said he still had hope.
หวังว่าอาจจะมีปาฏิหาริย์เกิดขึ้นได้เพราะว่าเมื่อวานในการร่วมคุยกับหัวหน้าพรรคก็หยิบเรื่องนี้มา
But that's the miracle that didn't happen. In an open letter, human rights groups, activists, and academics in southern Thailand had urged the Prime Minister to track down the defendants in the case. There was also a suggestion that the government should consider a special royal decree to extend the statute of limitations, but the government said that it cannot be done legally.
เรามองไปข้างหน้าดีกว่าอย่าไปมองไปข้างหลังเลยนะครับถ้าเรามัวแต่ไปคิดถึงคือเขามีสุภาษิตบอกโกรธ10 ครั้งไม่เท่าให้อภัยครั้งเดียวนะครับ
The Interior Minister says forgiving is the best way forward, but the victims' families may not agree. Security concerns are mounting in the south. On Thursday, a car bomb exploded in Pattani province. Nearby buildings were damaged, but no lives were lost. The case may be legally over, but history will live on.
And the Tak Bai massacre is the incident that people will never forget. And now let's have a look at the other stories in our weekly roundup.
Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra has defended the recent meeting between her father Thaksin and core members of governing coalition parties, saying that it did not necessarily mean that the parties were being dominated or influenced by Thaksin. This came after the Election Commission accepted a petition demanding the dissolution of the Pheu Thai Party and its 6 coalition partners for allowing themselves to be influenced or dominated by Thaksin over the appointment of his daughter as Prime Minister after Setha Thavisin was removed from office by the Constitutional Court for appointing a former convict to a ministerial post. The Finance Ministry is considering the launch of a new program to promote tourism in the northern region and to boost the local economy after several northern provinces were devastated by recent flooding. The Deputy Finance Minister has, however, dismissed speculation that the program would cost the taxpayer 24 billion baht, saying that there's no conclusion yet as to how much it will be needed. Thai immigration police detained a Chinese man suspected of being a member of a kidnap gang as he was trying to leave the country for Cambodia at Suvarnabhumi airport. 4 other kidnappers are still at large. 2 Chinese victims were allegedly kidnapped by 5 armed men, 2 Chinese and 3 Burmese, who broke into the rented office in the Hoi Kwang district of Bangkok on Sunday.
And now let's take a look at a rare opportunity to witness a Thai royal tradition, a Royal Barge Procession, which will take place along the Chao Phraya River this Sunday. Our reporter Warisara Sahan was there for the full dress rehearsal in the rain.
Bangkok is getting ready for Royal Barge Procession this Sunday. It's also a part of the celebrations for His Majesty the King's 72nd birthday and a rare chance to witness a very unique royal Thai tradition. And today we're taking you to see the final and full dress rehearsal of the event. While boat songs are chanted, 52 royal barges sailed on one of the main rivers in Thailand. 2,200 oarsmen are powering these vessels from Wat Sukri Pier to the Temple of Dawn, a distance of about 4 kilometers. The Royal Barge Procession is a 700-year-old ceremony which highlights the links between the monarchy and Buddhism. This is the second Royal Barge Procession to be held in the reign of King Rama X. It has taken months to prepare and rehearse. And when it comes to the final and full dress rehearsal, many tourists, both Thais and foreigners, said they are all excited to see this ancient tradition.
การได้มาเห็นกับตาค่ะกับขบวนเรือที่เราเคยเห็นแต่ในภาพ ของคนอื่นแล้วก็เห็นตามทีวีหลายปีมาแล้วเนี่ยค่ะก็รู้สึกว่าในชีวิตสักครั้งหนึ่งขอมาเห็นกับตาหน่อยแล้วก็ถึงแม้ว่าในวันจริงๆเราอาจจะไม่มีโอกาสได้มาแต่ว่าตอนซ้อมใหญ่เนี่ยถ้ามีโอกาสไม่รอเลยค่ะมาทันที
The full dress rehearsal is supposed to be the final rehearsal if it wasn't for a sudden rain bomb, even though the Navy has checked the weather beforehand. But attendees are not giving up.
วันนี้อยากจะเห็นของจริงนะฮะและเห็นว่ามีโต๊ะอี้นั่งก็เลยมาก็ไม่นึกว่าฝนจะตกแรงอย่างนี้นะคะไม่งั้นก็คงไม่ได้มาลูกๆจะห้าม
รู้สึกภูมิใจในความเป็นไทยรู้สึกแบบเป็นวัฒนธรรมที่แบบสวยสดงดงามมากและเรือสุพรรณหงส์ก็สวยเมื่อกี้ทนเปียกน้ำเพื่อรอเรือสุพรรณหงส์เนี่ยก็เรือมาก็กลับมาเห็นบ้างลางๆ
Due to the heavy rain, the rehearsal had to be postponed to the next day, October 24th. Some attendees had arrived 3 to 4 hours early to reserve the best seats in Santi Chai Prakan Park, which is one of the viewing locations. Here's the route. The barges will set off from Wasukri Pier and the journey will end at the Temple of Dawn. Along the Chao Phraya River banks, there are over 7,800 seats in other viewing locations too, including under the Rama H Bridge in Thonburi side, Santi Chai Prakan Park, Thammasat University Tha Prachan campus, the 72nd Anniversary Park, and Sirirat Hospital. And the highlight for October 27th, this Sunday, is that His Majesty the King and the Queen of Thailand will be seated in one of the spectacular barges, rowed by oarsmen in full traditional regalia.
ตั้งใจมาเลยค่ะเพราะว่าโอกาสน้อยมากๆที่จะมีพิธีแบบนี้ค่ะ
ก็อยากจะให้ว่ามีประเพณีแบบนี้บ่อยๆนะฮะก็ฝรั่งก็จะมาเที่ยวสวนเราเยอะ
ถ้าฝนไม่ตกกันที่นี่มันดีกว่าอยู่แล้วลูกมันมีทั้งการเขเรือที่ชัดเจนการเห็นฝีพายชัดเจนอะไรแบบนี้ค่ะแต่ชื่นชมฝีพายนะ
The Royal Barge Procession has been a regular and important event for kings of Siam since the Ayutthaya period between 1350 and 1767 AD. The ceremony was not held during the 1930s, but was restored in 1950s during the reign of King Lama IX. During the 70-year reign of King Bhumibol, only 16 royal barge processions were held.
And if you're into volunteering and are looking for something meaningful to do on the weekends, this story is for you. A group of expat volunteers have been organizing events to teach English to and to spend time with visually impaired children at the Bangkok School for the Blind. We talked with these volunteers about their experience.
That's a little bit of my time, and when I see that they're happy, I also feel like, yeah, I really enjoy it.
Students at the Bangkok School for the Blind are having fun, engaging in various activities. Today, they're learning about CPR from Mahidol University's Faculty of Nursing and enjoy fun English games organized by a group called Get Lost in Bangkok and Beyond. Lisa Maija Wegman, also known as Lisu, originally from Finland and now living in Pattaya, has a passion for volunteering. Although she's been living in Thailand for 11 years and has experienced a variety of activities and places, this is her first time as a volunteer here. The event planners have designed engaging activities specifically tailored to meet the needs of children with impaired vision. Lisu believes, however, that interacting with the children won't be a challenge for her.
I don't think it's difficult. It's just like remember that they actually can't see, that you cannot, sometimes like when the kids you show like, oh, look at this. But you have to remember that you cannot, like the kids, sometimes you have to touch the kid, like I'm here, my name is Lee Su, and like I'm here, like let's go here, and you cannot just assume that they just follow you, or like you have to remember, keep in mind that they can't actually see, but they are like very sensitive as well, so they listen very carefully and they remember things like very well. I think it's important, like the play and the singing, like you can do it even if you cannot see.
Li Su found that the most difficult part of today is to interact with a group of energetic kids. Despite this challenge, she emphasized the valuable experience she gained. Another thing is that the cultural exchange taking place is beneficial for the students, providing them with broader perspectives and new experiences.
Cultural exchange is always good for any kids or any people, like you see people from other countries, and I hope we can bring something new for the kids. We come from different countries, like, yeah, and different languages, and then like people, like kids, I don't know if they travel, but if they don't travel, we bring the traveling, like here.
What is your name?
My name is Poom.
Hello, Poom. Nice to meet you. My name is Kimberly. How old are you? 11 years old. Very good.
An English teacher from Chicago in the US, Kimberly Blanchard, returned for her second volunteer section here. She recalled her first experience with visually impaired children.
I think the first time I came, because I didn't know how to, I was a little bit like not afraid, but I felt like I didn't know what to do. But I spoke with all the other volunteers and they helped me because touching is a big thing. So they want to touch, you know, some of your body parts, your clothing, smell you. So I was just like, oh, at first, but now I understand it's to get to know me better so that they feel comfortable.
Kimberly said this event feels especially meaningful and rewarding because she not only teaches the kids, but they also taught her as they communicated in both Thai and English. And at the end of the day, everyone had a wonderful time.
I think it's a special opportunity to get to know more Thai culture, but also interact with the community of, you know, Bangkok, different parts of Thailand as well. I think that's really helped me feel included here.
Not only do the expat volunteers feel included here, but the blind children also feel valued and cared for. This positive environment significantly boosts the children's confidence and self-esteem as they develop.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay,ค่ะ.
And now this episode of Walk-a-tif, Kittipat Sukjit explores the significance of Tak Bai, a plastic tarp that is commonly seen in local communities across Thailand in this art exhibition called The Fabric of Society.
With the Tak Bai, at first I called this project the unofficial flag of Thailand because I felt it was like a flag, and it is, the Thai flag is everywhere, but this is like the second flag. You know, it's like the backup one, just in case.
Tak Bai, a plastic tarp with blue and white stripes, is a common sight in food markets, at construction sites and roadside stands in Thailand. The Fabric Society, an exhibition by Barry MacDonald, an English photographer, shows that this plastic tarp has, however, a deeper meaning.
I slowly started noticing it. The more and more I lived here, I kind of realized it was used in a lot of different places for a lot of different things. And then the more and more I dug into it, I kind of found that it was used all over the country. Every province I would ever visit, always using the same type. And I became really interested in why there's not like a green version or a red version or a pink version. And I just became more and more obsessed and started shooting it everywhere I went. And then before I know it, I had like 600 pictures.
Barry's exhibition highlights the hidden importance of Tak Bai, showing it as a symbol of everyday lives of millions of Thai workers. His collection of photos not only highlights this simple fabric, but also sends a strong message about the connections and social systems that shape life in modern Thailand.
This one here, his dad is running a noodle stall.
This one.
Chaka. And he has taken his flip-flops off as well. And it's kind of like, this interesting, even though Tak Bai is seen as like a very kind of dirty construction material, sometimes then it becomes like this nice, clean, safe place to like relax as well. And the kind of people taking their flip-flops off and sort of don't want to dirty the Tak Bai, I think it's kind of a nice thing.
So that one is also look interesting.
These photographs were taken of builders. I was really interested in these guys are actually living of houses, and a lot of these guys are nomadic workers. They just travel around following the job and live right next to the building site. And it reminded me of Tiang Na I've seen in Isan.
You know the word Tiang Na?
Chaika.
Wow.
Like, it's like the temporary place where the farmer can stay close to his fields, right? When he's kind of camping out a bit. But for these guys, it becomes like their home for a lot of the year. And a lot of the time, they're living in these kind of structures. And even some things I found many building sites where the builders have a shower room, you know, where Tak Bai has become their shower room. This one, it became the Hong Nam, you know.
The toilet.
Chaika. And some of them are very big. And I talked to many of the people, and like these guys here are Karian tribe from the north of Thailand. And they told me they come to Bangkok to work on like a temple renovation. And
Even though the artist of this exhibition is the photographer, but this exhibition is not just only the art gallery, the photo gallery, but also the art installation from this fabric or Tak Bai, which is come in the form of bag or small bag, and the beach chair.
So these objects, the beach chair and the beanbag and the small bags, were made with my friend PBS, who's one of the head designers at PDM. And I just was really interested in the material, you know, and how that would work as everyday objects.
All right. Is this strong enough, right?
Tak Bai Tham Dai.
Wow, it's good. It's so strong.
Chai. And so I thought it was interesting as well about... This is a classic Thai object, the folding beach chair all over Pattaya and Phuket, Chiang Mai. It's a core thing of Thailand, and just kind of like funny to use this material in it.
As the exhibition continues at TCDC in Bangkok until November 3rd, he encourages viewers to take a fresh look at everyday objects and think about the hidden stories behind them.
When Thai people see Tak Bai, they know how strong it will be, or how, you know, what uses it can be used for, and it's become like maybe the most successful brand in Thailand. But I would just like people to sort of take away maybe the idea of like being observant and like thinking about your environment around you, and thinking about sometimes some of the most simple objects or the most cheapest objects actually can have the greatest impact on our lives and what that means to us.
Kittipat Chunsukhjit, reporting for Thai PBS World.
All right, and that wraps up tonight's edition of This Week with Thai PBS World. Join us every Friday at 10:30 p.m. only on Thai PBS. And don't forget to follow us on social media and our website, thaipbsworld.com, for all the latest updates about Thailand as well as analyses. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week. Sawasdee ka.